What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? This is gonna be your Love and Hip Hop Miami season 2, episode 3. Now, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. This episode didn't really give me a whole lot, but we're gonna go ahead and talk about it, see what it do, where it is, and what's up. We start off with Bobby Lights shooting a music video. You know. Anyway, I'm gonna let it go. I think his song is called Bang Bang. And we see that Shay and Tip is there to be in his video. And they're talking and everything, sort of just rehashing the whole situation that went down with JoJo and all that. You know how they got to retell the story. And Trina shows up, which I'm like, that's cool. Him and Trina really are trying to be there and support each other. Trina shows up and with her boyfriend, and they're talking to Bobby, and Bobby's like, he's trying to get signed to Trina's label, and they're asking, she tells him that the TNT project is over. She was like, I can't even get into all that right now. She said, but I'm here to support you. I just want to let you know I really see the moves you're making. I'm really proud of you. And he was like, proud enough to sign me to your record label. And she, her hesitation is, I see Bobby making moves. He's doing really well. We're getting along really well. But I need Bobby to understand that there's a difference between being family and business. And I need to really see a little bit more from him from the business side before I feel comfortable enough trying to go and sign him to the record label. But she's there to support, and to Bobby's credit, he ain't spaz out. He didn't do nothing extra. He didn't go off. He was like, I get it. I understand what you're saying, and I'm just have to show you. And I was like, go ahead, Bobby, for growing up a little bit. Because, see, last year he would have went, Trina, I can't believe you did, and I am your cousin. Like, he'd have done a whole lot. But this, he was like, I hear you. You right. Cool. We know last year we had that whole situation between Shay and Trina. Honey, when Trina showed up, Shay got her ass the hell away. She said, whoop, there's Trina. Whoop, there's my exit. I said, well, I didn't think Shay was scared of nothing or nobody, but I bet you somebody got in her ear and told her what you don't want to do is diss Trina and disrespect Trina in fucking Miami. Have you lost your mind? Mm-mm. That's royalty, boo. Somebody got to her ass and let her know quick. Mm-mm. Then we see Chaotic and Prince down to the tattoo shop. I didn't enjoy watching this scene, and I'm trying to choose my words because I don't want to be disrespectful, but this was just a hard scene for me to watch. There were a lot of things visually that were not appealing to my eye. So it was hard for me to watch it. I'm going to leave it at that. But we did, we learned a little bit more, last week Chaotic told us he had been shot 17 times, and he was saying he has a tattoo. The tattoo that he has right here on his face is actually very symbolic, because one, is covering up a bullet wound where one of the bullets actually went into his skull. And two, the tattoo itself represents life, because he said, he was ambushed. He was shot 17 times, and he said, the police, the doctors and stuff told him he was going to be blind. They didn't know if he was going to walk. Like, it was a lot of things. I mean, with 17 bullets, I guess. But it looks like it wasn't his time, and he's a blessed individual because he's still here to tell the story. And he's walking, and he's thinking in his right mind, and, all of that. But him, he said, but I brought Prince down here because I really need to see what he really made of. Like, is he really, he really about this life. Like, he really ready for this whole situation. And, Prince was like, because at first Prince was like, he told me he was shot 17 times. I don't believe that. But then he started actually showing him the bullet wounds. I was shot here, I was shot here, I was shot here, I was shot here, da-da-da-da-da. And Prince was like, well, damn. He was like, I mean, I've been through some stuff, but I ain't been through none of this kind of stuff. I was like, yeah, player, that's a lot. I mean, it's a lot, and yeah, that's a lot. And definitely, he said, that he lived that life. He said he was out there living that kind of life. He said, but he really trying to just do some better things, and he's just all about being happy, living his life, not worrying about not having a whole bunch of that extra stuff, whatever. So Miss Veronica Vega makes her debut this season. Veronica Vega is not one of my favorites. She just don't do nothing for me. I don't like that whole culture appropriation shit. I don't like, last year you was black, but this episode you was full Latino this episode. But anyway, whatever. she went to Atlanta to go meet with her producer. She signed to Polo the Don's record label, who's, like a super producer and everything. And come to find out, basically, he's telling her, look, we just spent a whole lot of money on you and ain't got a whole lot of returns. And every time we feel like we about to break through, every time we feel like we about to get you over that hump, you do something to get in your own way, or something happens to get in your way. And at this point, I've been putting way too much money out on you to not get no returns from you. So right now, I need you to commit. Say that I need you to, keep pushing forward. Stop taking your foot off the gas. We need to really break through. Because I spent way too much money. He had the accountant and everything there. The accountant said, yeah, we spent $1.4 million on you last year. She was like, oh, shit. He said he sold his house because he believed in her so much. Now, I don't know about all of that. But so she was like, I'm really ready. I'm ready. And he was like, nah, I need you to say it like you mean it. And even when she said it again, it didn't sound like she really meant it. But whatever. Then we see later on in the episode where she's talking to her grandmother and her sister, and of course she's giving us it didn't move me, I'm sorry, because she just don't move me, but basically getting into the whole her and that when her grandfather was the nucleus of the family, and when he passed away, he sort of put the torch to her and said, take care of your sisters, and how she's the backbone, and that she really wants this for the family, and that, she wants to make him proud, and all these things. And people think I just have money and I got it going on, but I don't have nothing. No, I didn't think that either. I never thought you had money or that you had it going on. And she said that she knows that her mouth could get her in trouble and stuff. You think? So, anyway, that's Veronica. I ain't got a whole lot for her. I ain't got a whole lot of time to spend on her because she just, like I said, until she coming forward with some apologies, me and her ain't got a lot to talk about. So, I'm trying to make sure I'm going in the right order. Then we see JoJo and her store. Now, JoJo done started a new store because, remember, her father cut her off. He took her old store. She just started her new store. We see her with her client, Camara, from the New Orleans Saints running back. He be on my my FanDuel team. I be getting him as often as I can. And they about to head to the Super Bowl. You better do that thing. But anyway, he's there being styled by her and everything. And she's just talking about everything she went through since last year when her father, cut her off and everything. And she had to start from scratch, and how she got her new store and it's all hers. Can't nobody take it from her and all of that. And her mother is basically saying, her mother comes in and she's like, look, I don't want you with him with Pleasure. I want you with somebody like him. I think he's a nice guy. I think you see them running back dollar signs is what I think you see. But okay. But that's the type of guy I want to see you with. I don't really like you with Pleasure. Now, first of all, I don't give a fuck what your stage name is. I'm not introducing no man to my mama as Pleasure. That sounds like a stripper name. Whatever your government name is what my mama gonna call you. Travis, Mom, this is Travis. Travis, this is my mother. Oh yeah, Travis, he's a singer. I'm not introducing nobody to my mama as Pleasure. And they sitting there having a conversation with Pleasure this and Pleasure that. That doesn't even sound right. Pleasure. Anyway. But she's talking about how she really wants to try to make things work between her and Pleasure. And then they show us these pictures that are obviously staged. Then they have this conversation later on in the episode, JoJo and Pleasure, which is clearly staged. She said, and I ain't even gonna say it's staged. I'm just gonna say it's stupid. Because if it was a true conversation, it was stupid. Because Pleasure talking about, JoJo talking about some. We met through Bobby. Bobby hooked us up and everything. And we've been seeing each other for a while. But, just because I stood him up a couple of times, he's tripping. Bitch, what? I don't think that's tripping. You stand somebody up. He just give me the silent treatment. You don't think he got a right to be mad at you? And she said like once, she said a couple of times. So this is an ongoing behavior with you. And he was like, look, if you trying to make something happen, he was like, she said, well, I lost my business, I lost my father, I went through this, I went through that, my best friend died, my grandmother died, like all this stuff that went on. She said, I took L after L after L last year. And Pleasure was like, I hear that. But that's what I'm here for. If we're trying to build a relationship and we're trying to be together, that's what I'm here for. I am here to be a shoulder for you to cry on. I could send you some flowers. I could try to take your mind off of things. He was like, but you can't just shut down on me when we trying to make something work. Oh, you're right. Oh, and they hug, and that's that. So anyway, there's that. I'm done with that. All right. Trina Tip and Jessie Woo. Jessie Woo was doing a stand-up set. They meet her down there. They're talking. And, of course, you know, they got to retell the whole story. Jessie Woo got to talk about what happened with her and Amara La Negra. And she made it seem like Amara and JoJo were coming at her. And that's not even, in my mind, that's not even how that whole thing went down. And she was talking about how she spazzed out and was throwing drinks at everybody and everything. And then Trina was saying how Bobby wants her to sit down with Shay and sort of clear the air with Shay. And Miami Tip was like, well, you know, I think you should give her a chance because, you know, Shay and Miami Tip are friends. But I think you should sit down. You know, I think she is apologetic, and she realized that, you know, she was probably coming out of her neck wrong, and so she really wants to apologize. She want to bow down to the queen, basically. So then we have a cute little scene with Gunplay and Kier. I like Gunplay, y'all. Gunplay is really seriously, you know, trying to get his woman back. He done bought her a kitten. She said, you know, just in true woman's fashion, she gonna say, what took you so long? I've been wanting this kitten for 3 years. So it take this for me to get my kitten? Just take the damn kitten. Just take the kitten. He said, yeah, you right. I know. So they talking or whatever. And, you know, he's trying to apologize and everything and talking about he love her. She's like, you don't even know what love is. Okay, he was like, look, this ain't really going how I thought it was going to go, but I'm here. I'm going to make it work. So he was going to do some business up in New York. He invited her to come with him. She was like, she'll come. She said, but if I come, you know, it's just strictly friends. We're not staying in the same bed. He was like, all right, I accept your challenge. I said, I know that's right, because see, in his mind, see, what you said was, we're going to go up there as just friends and we're not staying in the same bed. What he heard was, that's your challenge to get me in your bed by the end of this trip. See, what women say and what men hear ain't always the same thing. So when he said, I accept your challenge, I knew then. I said, oh, he heard, it's your job to get me in your bed. That's what he heard. That ain't what you said, though. But that's probably where you're going to end up. But anyway. So, but the kitten was cute. If you went to Cass, it was a cute little kitten, you know. But that, you know, it was a cute little scene because Gunplay was like, I'm going to get my woman back. You know, I don't know what I'm getting my woman back. We got a little scene with Chaotic and Prince and Hollywood in the studio. And Chaotic is trying to tell Prince, I don't think you're ready for the studio. You ain't ready yet. And Prince wants to do party music, is what it sounds like to me. Like he wants to make the next Electric Slide or the next Cupid Shuffle because he came up with some dance move and he wants to make a song to it. But again, that's his background. He's a club promoter. Like that's what he does. So he sees how a club song can get the party going. Like that's his thing. So that, you know, and they were kind of looking at him crazy. But like Hollywood said, he was like, look, that song sounds like some crazy shit to me. He was like, but, you know, the internet is full of crazy songs, and I've seen crazier shit become hits. So if that's what he want to do, if that's his lane, cool. And again, if that's your lane, people make party music, and people make a lot of money off of party music. Look at Electric Slide. That shit. When is the last time you've been to a family reunion, a black wedding, a graduation party, a cookout, and you ain't hear the Electric Slide? Right? So it ain't nothing wrong with it if that's your lane. He's like, and I can respect that Prince know that's his lane. He ain't out here trying to make shoot 'em up music. He ain't trying to be hard. He ain't trying to act like he's something he not. He like, look, this is my lane. This what I want to do. Cool. Alright, so we have the sit down between Miss Trina and Shay. And basically what Shay is trying to say to Trina, which is, to me, this whole scene was stupid. The next scene was stupid. It's whatever. But basically what Shay was saying is, I know that Joy's your cousin. I know I got to go through you because basically I know that I disrespected you and I got to bow down to the queen. So here I am bowing down to the queen. But can you help me sort of mend fences with Joy? And basically where I'm coming from is Joy disrespected me because she went back to Pleasure and she was telling Pleasure certain things about me, and I ain't feel like that was her place. And that's what happened between me and her, you know, when me and Pleasure were dating, you know, and they started, and all I could think, and I even wrote it on my notes, why are we still talking about Pleasure? You're not with him anymore. You're not trying to be with him. He's not even part of your storyline at this point. Why are we still talking about what happened last year with Pleasure? And instead of just saying, look, it was a misunderstanding, can you help me and Joy fix this? You still trying to justify why you were mad at Joy, or why you felt like Joy was wrong, or Joy did something to you. And I was just like, only thing I could think of was, why are we still talking about Pleasure P? Like, why are we still talking about Pleasure and that whole situation with Joy? But here's where I love Trina. And this is where Trina is just the realest bitch. And this is the Trina I wanted to see last season. Like, this is the Trina I wanted to see give it to me last season. Trina was like, look, at the end of the day, you don't never beef with no female over a dude, because she didn't make no promises to you. He did. You don't never go after no female over what a dude told you or a dude said. She said, because men are liars. And you can't believe what a man says and take that and run off with it. Men are liars. And she was like, you right, they are. And she was like, so, I hear what you're saying and I understand where you're coming from, but don't, you got to let that go. Like, this whole Pleasure thing, let it go. So at the end of the conversation, Trina agreed to set up a conversation with Shay so they could clear the air and they could resolve it. Alright, fast forward to them talking. Because, like I said, this whole situation was just dumb to me. The three of them sit down. Joy got an attitude. Shay got an attitude. They get to arguing. Trina's playing playing peacemaker. And again, we arguing about fucking Pleasure P, who's not a part of none of y'all storyline. And then Shay was like, well, I felt like it was something sneaky going on with y'all, and you listening to what he telling you about me instead of seeing me for yourself. And then you ran back to him. You said you saw me at the club with another dude, and you ran back and told him. And Joy was like, yeah, that's what I did, because he was my friend. So yeah, I went back and I told him what I saw. That's what I do. I've done it before, and it's never been an issue. And Trina was like, look, let me say this. She was like, in all of this, where you were wrong is you running back and telling him. She was like, you don't get in nobody else's relationship. You don't run behind nobody and tell nobody what's going on with their relationship. That's between him and her. And that's where you were wrong in this situation. You ain't had nothing to do with that. I said, okay, Trina playing it even. Because she came at Joy just like she came at Shay. And I can respect the fuck out of that. I can respect that Trina said, I'm an equal opportunity opinion giver. And in this situation, you were wrong and you were wrong. And y'all need to just go on and just resolve this shit and keep it moving. Because this right here is just dumb. And Joy was like, well, she need to apologize to me. And Shay was like, I did apologize. Like, you weren't trying to hear it, but I apologized. She's like, I apologized more than once. Trina was like, she did apologize. You were ignoring her, but she did apologize. So I was like, okay, Trina. Like, I can respect that Trina was hearing both sides of it and was playing, let's come and meet somewhere in the middle. And she wasn't just taking Joy's side over Shay because Joy is her sister, her cousin. I really liked that. The only thing I liked about this whole scene was the conversation, was Trina giving it to both of them. Because at the end of the day, she ain't never lied. One, as a female, I will never understand why women go after the woman. Or the other person, whether it's, whatever type of relationship. I will never understand that. If my man is cheating on me with you, you ain't my problem. He is. Now, if you disrespect me, that's another conversation. If you come in my face with some bullshit, that's another conversation. But I will never understand going to the woman. That ain't your problem. He your problem. And reporting back what you saw in the club with somebody else, not my business. But what about... No. But what if you... What if she... Nope. Not my business. I'm with you on that one, Trina. But anyway, that is pretty much all we got this episode. That's what they gave to us, y'all. I guess they setting some things up for next week. Because it really was just I feel like it was a lot of foundation here. It looked like they were trying to tie up some things from last season. Like the whole, I don't know where we're going with this Veronica situation. But it seemed like the Joy Shay situation done been cleaned up and resolved. But like I said last week, what I don't want to see happen is Shay. I don't want to see you come back and this whole season be about you arguing about a man again. Like, please, 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 don't. and it looks like from the previews for next week, it looks like that's what it's going to be. Don't do it. Let this shit go. Find your own lane. Go back to talking about your fitness gear, your fitness, like, do that. But let this go. Pleasure, Scrappy, well, I know Scrappy ain't part of your storyline, but Pleasure, let all of that go, boo. You too beautiful for that. Anyway, let me know what you think. Drop it in the comments. Peace.